Prince Harry has decided to get himself some new hair because he has felt uncertain, stuck, and sad and pathetic about his hair. He's felt like he looks like a hot mess. There's all these negative cards surrounding him, and he hasn't felt good about it. He's felt very insecure with himself, unstable, and he wanted to bring greater hope to his life. So what better way than to get a new head of hair? Hey, I'm not knocking people doing self-improvement, but I just think it's funny how he turned from a prince to this vain man living in Montecito who gets hair transplants, allegedly. And ever since he walked away from the life that he knew with the royal family, he has been much more frustrated with certain things. He's been happy with other things and frustrated with other things. So it's like a double-edged sword, right? But then at the same time, he's like, going forward in the future, what image do I want to project? Who do I want to be? How can I show that, show my brother, right? Show my brother. And this is referring to him, not Charles, because it could be, Charles is a Scorpio, William is a Cancer. It could be referring to Charles, but I feel like it's referring to William, the King of Cups, because it refers to childhood. I think this is his brother. And how can I show my brother that, I'm living the life, I'm doing well, right? Six of Pentacles. Well, what better way than to reflect it with my appearance? Because he lives in superficial California, so remember, that rubs off on a person when they're here. Well, in the United States as well is more superficial, I would say, and individualistic than Great Britain is, although our culture is influenced by Great Britain because we were colonized by them primarily. But I would say that we are much more superficial for sure. Did Meghan try to hint towards him to get this transplant? I made the thumbnail as like kind of a joke. I don't know if she really did before I made the thumbnail, but let's just see. Did Meghan want him to get the hair transplant? The alleged hair transplant. She's like, honey, you've been feeling stuck about this for a long time on making a decision. You looked at all the factors of if you should get it or you shouldn't. And, you haven't felt good about yourself for a long time. Your image has been unstable. So, I know you're conflicted on it, 5 of Wands, but just go forward and do it. It'll make you feel better. So she was more encouraging. It's going to just give you a bright new outlook and a fresh start on life and more hope and blah, blah, blah. And, you're really going to show William up. So she mentioned William and how he's still balding and can't do anything about it because I guess it's not appropriate for a king to, and maybe he doesn't care to. But Harry, you're not really with the family anymore with all those rules, and now you're free to do that. But here's a little tip here, and I'm not trying to sound mean, but I'm just going to be honest because I'm not a therapist when I do these readings. I do these readings for entertainment. They're an outside thing. And so entertainment is different than something that is outside of this, what I do. My opinion is William looks way better bald than Harry. And if you've ever seen that art of the estate art where they drew, I guess it's an estate that they have over in the UK where people like live on welfare, I guess it is. Correct me if I'm wrong if it's not welfare. But this artist reimagined William and Catherine and Meghan and Harry as these welfare estate people in the UK. And William was freaking sexy bald. Like, he just needs a change up of style. Like, he was wearing, I believe, a tracksuit and had a tattoo over his eyebrow with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, or a joint, I think it was. I don't know. He was sexy. Like, he can pull off the bald look. You just style him a little different, and he looked freaking sexy. But Harry looked like a hot mess. It's council estate. In the UK, it's called a council estate. I believe that's like a welfare area where there's more tough-looking people, or people who are more like street or hood, for lack of a better term, like what we would call that in the United States. And he looks sexy. So it just takes a different style sometimes to pull off that bald look. Whereas Harry just still looked like a hot mess. So it just goes to show who looks better bald. So William doesn't really need the implants. Harry, on the other hand, Meghan's like, you're going to show him up. Well, maybe he will because he's got the hair. But William still pulls off bald better. It's kind of like when a woman can pull off short hair and she doesn't need long hair, it's so petty and it's so ridiculous that William's name came up allegedly in that conversation. And it was all about, oh, poor him, poor victimized Harry. You've been feeling sad about your hair for so long, and you know, don't feel defensive about it or embarrassed about it. It's going to give you peace of mind, and trust your intuition. So she really encouraged this, and she was like, I love you, I support you and everything, blah blah blah, and you're going to look better than William. Like, William's name came up, okay, Knight of Cups, and then he came up as the King of Cups earlier, okay. Did Meghan deep down really want him to get his hair fixed because she's not attracted to the way his hair looked? Did she really want him to get his hair fixed deep down? Well, she thought about it a lot, and she felt stuck in saying something, but she kind of kept it to herself. The Moon, she kept it to herself. She felt stuck. She thought about factors a lot having to do with it. But she was like, let me just model his mother and be encouraging, and I'll only bring it up if he brings it up first. And I'm just going to show him so much support and love that he missed from his mom when she died. Look at that. She tries to model herself off Diana. Love, love. I mean, that's healthy, though. I will give her that. That's healthy not to bring it up unless he brings it up. You know, something about physical appearance. You don't want to harp on your partner about it. You don't want to make them feel bad about it. But if they bring it up and they want, like, encouragement, like, that's a different story. So, you know, obviously if your partner's not morbidly obese, then that would be an immediate health concern where you'd need to say something. But if they just gained like 15 pounds and you're bringing it up all the time, and we all know, not all, but some men tend to do this with people. I personally have really never gone out with somebody who's done that to me, because in that respect, I am good at picking people who have been very into me physically, whether I gained or lost weight. I would never even give a guy a time of day who would dare say something like that to me. But women commonly go through that scenario where it's not a health concern because they're not morbidly obese, and the guy will try to spin it like it's a health concern, and they gained like 10, 15 pounds or something, and he's like, I'm worried about your health, but he's really worried about the way she looks, and he has no qualms about bringing it up. That would be the same thing as Meghan bringing up Harry's hair and insulting him when she knew what she was getting into, right? That would be the same thing. That would be inconsiderate. So it looks like she did have consideration and wanted to wait till he brought it up. Like, she felt stuck, she thought about it, and she kept it to herself. The Moon is like concealed because she wants to model Diana. We all know she's modeling his mother in like this weird Freudian sick kind of way with the two of them. And she wants to show love and support. That part of it is good, you know, wanting to show love and support for your partner, but modeling his mother's a little weird. And she's like, well, he feels uncertain about himself, so I'm just going to support him. So the thumbnail's kind of a joke to attract attention, but it doesn't always literally translate to what I talk about in the video. So that's what I have. If you want to see more readings on Harry and Meghan, go to Patreon right now. There's 2 up, I believe. Then I have some about the Hawaii fires, where those partially intentionally caused and also naturally occurring in addition to that. I also have some things up about the world and the supposed alien invasion. Again, things on Harry and Meghan. And there's more timeless sign readings and possibly a Palladian message to come for the rest of the month, and more videos next month. So always stay tuned to Patreon, because I will talk about current events, Harry and Meghan, and unseen hidden things that you may not know about things, and sign readings. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.